Haley to come up, and her coach is going to come with her, and you'll recognize Faith because she's been up here before and she's a great speaker. But I'm going to invite Haley to come up and tell her story. And there are two facts, absolute facts that I want you to know about Haley. She is very, very brave. I mean, think about it, guys. For a person to have thought, considered aborting their child, and then to come into a room like this and tell you that, she's very, very brave. And secondly, and most importantly, she is an extremely awesome mommy. So Haley, will you come up? And Faith will bring up Lila. Look at her, guys.
Hi, my name is Haley, and I'm going to be reading to you guys what I wrote, basically just telling my story and how I got here. So I'm going to start. So, what would you do if you were in my shoes? Here's what happened. I was 16 and pregnant and had grown up in a poor single mother household. At times we were homeless. I began house hopping from friends to relatives at 14 years old. I quickly learned that asking for help wasn't an option because help always came with ulterior motives. I wanted a better life for my child than I had lived up to that point. My baby's father was 18, so we got an apartment together. Our parents weren't happy about our pregnancy, saying miscarriage would be a blessing. My baby's father brought abortion to the table, saying he wasn't ready to be a dad. At 16, I refused an abortion. Unfortunately, saying yes to the life of my baby wasn't enough for people that I trusted to support me. Somehow the fact that I was 16 and negated the right choice I was making for my baby, I was already labeled as a bad mom. In the eyes of those around me, I carried that label dreaming of a life in which I wouldn't be a bad mom. The type of life where I could financially support myself and my child, provide a two-parent household where we have family dinners at the table together every night. However, that wasn't my reality. I dropped out of high school, and by the time my daughter was 4 months old, her father and I had split. I was forced to stay with my mother for a period of time. Remembering my own childhood, I began to feel like I was failing as a mother. However, I worked very hard and I got my own apartment. Shortly after, I was in a good place. I applied for nursing school and I was building up my savings. And seeing as I was doing so well, my daughter's father and I rekindled our relationship. Then in June of last year, I became pregnant again. When I shared the news of our new pregnancy, I was stunned by his reaction. He said we can't have another baby. He wasn't ready for another baby, and he offered to pay for my abortion. To complicate the situation further, there was another woman. I was devastated that this man that I had a child with, went to church with, and I shared my life with, had betrayed me. As I told others about my pregnancy, there wasn't a single person who encouraged me to keep my baby. People I shared faith with, my family, and my friends said things like it would be okay to have an abortion and that things would get better if I did have an abortion. I couldn't go to school if I didn't have an abortion. I felt alone, confused, and like I had no other options. I called an abortion clinic for pricing and researched grants for an abortion. I stopped going to church and I became very depressed. I was hopeless, and the only thing that I could think about was, would I have my baby? I ended up at the PRC for free ultrasounds and coaching. I heard myself say I could love 2 babies, but I didn't feel like I could financially support 2 babies. I also heard my baby's heartbeat. I felt confused and I felt very guilty. I wanted to give my baby a good life, and I didn't feel like I could give my baby a good life. If I couldn't give my baby a good life that I wanted, or a life that I wanted, would it be right to even keep her? But this was a baby like Mila. I was nervous and scared, but the PRC didn't pressure me either way. I came to look forward to talking to my coach. Then I learned about the bridges. At first, I was thinking, no way. I was imagining a house full of random people, bunk beds like a jail or homeless shelter. I believed it was too good to be true. My mom told me that would be a big mistake and that other moms in the house might not like Mila. Again, it was no decision I could make for my children. It would be right because I was already wrong for being such a young mom and a single without means of support for my children. However, I saw the house. It was not like I imagined. As I continued coaching at the PRC, and after seeing the house, I decided I would try this new adventure. And I'm so glad that I did. Things are a lot better now, and I kept my baby, and I took maternity leave. The room in my heart for 2 daughters is full because I chose life for Mila. We are living in a beautiful home. I'm continuing my education, and I'm working in a pharmacy. Through Bridge, I'm receiving the support that I needed during this time. I feel like I have a shot at being the mom God created me to be.